All right, now let's install P4Merge and integrate it with Git. To be fair, this is very optional. I like to stick with the two-way merge tool built into most of the text editors these days. But for more complex merges, a dedicated visual merge tool is pretty nice. So we'll do that. Back on the Windows desktop, let's open up our web browser. I'm going to open up two tabs here. First tab is we'll go back to that Git repo that had instructions that we can follow. To go to the github.com/tailor-training-courses and back into the installations repo. Once there, go into Windows, then Git. On the README file, we can scroll down until we find the section for P4Merge. All right, great. Should be down here towards the bottom. Now, we do have a nice link to the website directly to the P4Merge tool on the Perforce website. If I do that, I can open in a new tab, and it takes me directly to the correct location. This might not always work because Perforce changes their website on a pretty regular basis. So let's see how we can get there. It's at Perforce.com because that's the name of the company that actually builds this tool. They actually have a competing source control tool called Perforce or Helix that is an alternative to Git, but it's more of an older style centralized system. But they do have some pretty amazing Git integration tools, so those are worth a look. To go to Perforce.com, once their website loads, you want to find something to like a downloads page or something of that nature. So up here towards the top right now, at least according to their current layout of their website, we have a nice downloads link, so we can click on that. Now, somewhere on this page, there should be a visual merge tool, or in parentheses, P4Merge. Let me go ahead and get rid of this robot. All right. So here we are, Helix Visual Merge Tool. That's basically what they're calling P4Merge these days. So click on that. And that brings us to the same downloads page we had before. Once on this page, select your operating system. Then select platform. I know that I'm on a 64-bit version of Windows, so I'll choose that. And apparently there are multiple versions I can choose from. All right. I know that this first one will work, so I will go with that one. Then click on download. You don't technically need to fill out this registration information. It's just so they can send you information about their products. So I'm going to skip. Doing so should automatically begin the download of the installer. Go ahead and close out of that. Once the installer has finished downloading, just run the installer. All right. So despite this being specifically a download for P4Merge, what actually happens is that you download the installer for the entire suite. And of course, we don't want that. We just want the merge tool. So we will uncheck everything except for the merge and diff tool. So once we have isolated everything to only the merge and diff tool, click on next. Now click install. course, will be prompted. Once the installation has completed, click on Exit. And now we can close this tab. Now what we need to do is, first we need to verify the path to our P4Merge tool. So it's under Program Files, Perforce. So let's go double check that. Open up Windows Explorer. Let me see, where is it? There we go. This PC, C drive, Program Files, then a folder called Perforce. Yep, looks like it's here. And there's the executable. All right, we can close out of this now. I just want to make sure that that indeed did exist. So these are the commands we want to run. And this will tell Git to configure our external diff tool and external merge tool to be P4Merge. So we'll just copy and paste each line one at a time and paste them into our terminal. Now, if you're using Windows Terminal, you can actually use the standard Windows copy and paste shortcuts. Control V. All right, on to the merge settings. All right, so we have our final settings here. Let's run through what actually we are doing here instead of just blindly copying and pasting commands. So the first line sets up a diff tool within Git. So once that diff tool called P4Merge is registered with Git, we can then attach settings to that diff tool, which is named P4Merge. The first setting for that is path, and that's simply the path to the executable for P4Merge. That's for the diff tool. I also like disabling the prompt. So if you were to just say get diff, typically if you specified the diff tool for running a diff within Git, you would normally get prompted to confirm running that external program. Setting the prompt to false disables that behavior. Onto the merge tool. Very similar settings. We set up the merge tool registered as P4Merge, then attach the path setting to the merge tool named P4Merge. Again, to that specific executable. Then there's also a merge tool prompt, which we also want to disable. And finally, there's a keep backup, which I also set to false. Now, if you want to play around, you can change these settings to whatever you want. All right, let's make sure all of these settings are actually registered with our .gitconfig file. Get config -- global -e. Now here's the final state of our .gitconfig file. We can go ahead and close out of our text editor and do a bit of cleanup. So I can close the terminal and our web browser.